many people as possible. We are also not doing any selfies, autographs, personal requests, signings of babies, none of that stuff. Don't ask. And I think that's it. We're good? Got it? We got it? Who's ready? Put your hands together for our special guests, Billie, Piper, and David Tennant!
Benjamin, where's Benjamin? Thanks, Benjamin. I'm going to wear this for you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you can one too.
Oh, thank you. I'm really happy about this. I've been longing for this, and I saw you have it. Thank you. Here we go.
So you guys have fun?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. You already got in this morning.
Yeah.
I got here last night. Everything's going really well, yeah.
We're so happy to have you here, and everyone is such huge Doctor Who fans.
Oh.
Are you guys into anything? Do you geek out for anything specific, like TV show, music,
Hip-hop.
hip-hop?
Yeah, hip-hop. I really geek out for that. Great.
Really?
Yes, I don't know that about me.
I knew that about you.
Okay.
You've changed.
I have always been in love. Love.
I'm geeking out about House of Cards season 4. Yeah. I don't want any. I'm only about 5 episodes in though, so shh. But that's quite exciting to me.
Awesome, fun. Well, do you want to get some fan questions?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is for both of you. What is your favorite line that you've ever performed and why? Like in any show, movie, whatever.
Well, I can't remember any of them.
Pretty sure. Mine has swear words in it, so I can't really say. It's from a play called The Pillow Man, which I did way back when I was young. And it's.
Can you bleep them? Can I bleep them for you?
You can try.
Okay. Okay.
It was, you came fourth out of
Bleep.
four.
Bleep.
In
Bleep.
distance.
Bleep.
Look it up.
I'd say I really enjoyed my no balls in the 50th. Because they were simple to say.
Easy one. Yes. Thank you. Let's take a question over here. I know every Whovian has their favorite moment from the show. I have mine on my shirt.
What's on your shirt?
It's you and Billie kissing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but what's time? We did that loads.
Well, no, the best part, you know it.
Okay.
Okay, you can obliterate that moment. You know. You can obliterate that moment right now by indulging us all for 3 seconds.
Oh, you want us to make out in front of you? That's just sick.
Yeah, there's children.
We have children, and yeah, it's
Not with each other.
yeah. That would be uncomfortable.
Yeah, lovely request. So what was your question? David, would you please turn to Billie and without pause say, Rose Tyler, I love you.
But then you know, you can't puncture these bubbles of expectation. These things have to hang. Also, how do you know that's what he was going to say?
That's what he has to say. What was your heart say?
Rose Tyler, can I borrow your jacket?
Maybe he was always the
vagina. I broke your hair curlers.
I like your bathroom set. Rose Tyler, I like your bathroom set.
All possibilities.
Yeah.
Hello, David and Billie.
Hi.
I'm really excited to sing.
You don't sound it. You sound it.
She's holding it
I'm freaking
together.
out.
Okay.
She's holding it
I
together.
just have my little David Tennant because he's been with me all day.
Oh.
Anyway, as actors, you know, we all know that eventually you're going to have to be intimate with another actor. So my question is...
She's going to ask us to do it as well.
No.
Sure with you.
My question is would you rather have to do a scene with someone who you were really good friends with or a complete stranger?
Good.
Both are good.
Yeah.
Both are good. It's good to do it with someone you really like, and it's also good to do it with a stranger. It's just good to do it. That's all we're getting down to.
Unless that stranger has bad breath. You ever had that?
Or if you hate, yeah.
Has that happened?
Oh, David. What have you done?
Such bad breath. That one time.
Oh, David,
I'm
stop.
not going to say who it was.
But now we all have to guess.
Do you tell them? Like, do you feel like you have to tell them or you're...
You basically tell the person who's taking care of them.
They're clearer.
We need to talk
You
about it.
basically tell their carer that they need to brush their teeth. That happens very rarely, though.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever encountered that.
Yeah.
Not kissing. It's like he's standing before someone with terrible breath.
Oh, I've had to really kiss
Oh.
really bad breath. And worse.
Can you show me yourself?
I'll tell you. Worse, it was on stage. So it wasn't just like one
Few hours in.
embarrassing afternoon on set. It was every night you knew it was coming.
That's really narrowing it down. That's gonna be a good search. You're giving us clues.
And every night you'd know it was coming and you'd think, oh.
Because it's stage breath. It's bad anyway.
You'd sort of pray for a cold.
At least you were getting paid for it. I mean, you know, like we have
Not enough.
Not enough for that. I think we're on this side now, right?
Yeah, I think so. My question is, hi, my name is Grace. Hi.
Hello, Grace.
My question is for David. You played a great hero in Doctor Who, but you also played a very terrible villain in Jessica Jones. They're both very different, but they're also kind of crazy characters to play. Which one was like, I guess, crazier to act with?
Well, they're very different shades of crazy, aren't they, I suppose? There's something, I mean, it is quite delicious to indulge the kind of darker corners of your psyche. You know, the bad guys do tend to get some of the most edible lines. And you get to do some extraordinary things that obviously you would never entertain in real life. And you get to kind of flirt with what that feels like. Kilgrave was a fascinating character because he had this extraordinary ability, and that's an interesting thing to play with. You know, if you lived in this world where everyone did everything that you requested of them immediately, what would that do to your psyche? What would that turn you into? Would you really see yourself as a villain? I don't think he did. You know, he doesn't know when people are doing things because they want to, and when people are doing things because they have to, and that's fascinating from a sort of character point of view. It was also really well written. So it was a lovely opportunity. Having said that,
Yeah, but who do you like?
it's still there's something about playing the Doctor that's quite hard to beat, I would say, because he's sort of everything, and he's all things. He kind of meets himself coming back, and he's got all the best lines, and he's got, you know, and you get to save the world, the universe, the infrastructure of time repeatedly. That is quite hard to beat.
So the show is so interesting because it's this fantastical, crazy world, but yet the characters are so relatable. I mean, in the Doctor, he isn't even human. So what do you guys think makes that so special? Like, how is he so relatable in a show that's so crazy and unrealistic?
I think it's just his joy and spirit that people really love. And because obviously there are very few 900-year-old Time Lords wandering the earth with that capacity for adventure. So I think those are the things that are appealing.
Yes, because he's 900 years old, but he's also a child, really, and it's that lovely.
He's very juvenile. He's incredibly immature. He's also really dark, doesn't he?
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
bit twisted.
Yes. It gets that way. Definitely.
It carries.
There's guilt. There's definite guilt, and but then I think the genius move that Russell T Davies did particularly was that he accepted all those sides of the character, and then he actually just wrote a love story, as it was certainly with Rose, and that's something that people eternally can identify with, obviously, and I think that's what unlocked a whole new audience, actually.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say the Doctor and Rose are just an iconic companionship for the show from any of the seasons. And do you think it's that romance that holds such a special place in the hearts of fans? Do you think that's the dynamic between them that, people love so much?
You should probably ask these people rather than us.
That's why you got us.
I think there's a love story involved. It's far easier to access the sci-fi.
Yeah.
And I find, I'm just talking about myself in this book. I think, and I also think it's much more likely to appeal to, a family as opposed to, a guy who likes, hardcore science fiction. Yeah, it's definitely got that.
I think that central relationship is key to accessing a general audience rather than a genre audience. Terms, because yes, the whole family's can identify with that. It becomes cross-generational. It appeals to sort of everyone in the house rather than just people like a hardcore sci-fi or an adventure story. It's all those things too, and it should be, and it does that very well. But if you've got that central relationship, which is a sort of entry point emotionally, I think that's quite important.
For the show. Yeah. All right, move to another fan question over here. This side. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I just love you very much.
Oh.
Well, my question is, when you were playing Kilgrave and Jessica Jones, after you were done, I was wondering if maybe playing that character affected you in any way.
It would be pretty dark if it did. It'd be quite alarming. I think though it would be, I would put some limitations to that quite quickly. Because if I started to believe I was Kilgrave, and I started demanding free Starbucks and things, I think the realities of the real world I'd bump up against them quite quickly. I hope not. I hope not.
Do you remember when you started Doctor Who and you'd done that, what was that TV show where you played like a terrible actor?
Oh yeah.
Secret Smile.
Yeah.
We were walking down the street, someone went psycho at you and you got really upset about it. Yeah, it was really cool.
I was so naive.
So what I'm saying is I don't think you carry
I don't think you do that.
Some people do,
Yeah.
which is a lot.
But it would be hard to carry a character with superpowers into your life because that's the bit.
That would be massively
Yeah. You'd either have to be living in a real
psychosis.
Yeah.
You seem okay right now, which is good.
It's in a really good place.
Yeah. It's the power of the link.
I know, isn't it?
It's keeping you very calm.
Thank you. Over here. Yes. Hi, my name
scariest part? Scary things?
We just had a laugh really, didn't we? I mean, in terms of like the stories that I've always found Empty Child really creepy. A little child with a gas mask asking, are you my mummy?
Yeah.
I always found that really uncomfortable would be the word.
Yeah.
We didn't really do any stunts. We had people do it for us. So I can't say that we did anything terrifying, like courageous or... Did we?
No, we didn't really.
We did the lift shaft, which was so easy with the harness.
Yeah, that was. Yes, they sort of let you. I was very jealous of Matt when in the 50th when he got to hang in Trafalgar Square. He got to hang off the torso way up.
He actually
He did. He went right up. He had a harness down his arm and everything, so it was safe enough. I was very jealous of that. Made him look really cool.
Like the best.
Like the best doctor. And Matt's been that really cute. I will have nothing to say against that.
Might make you feel better, but it backfired.
No, I don't. Yeah, scary. I don't know. I mean, the Daleks are pretty exciting to be on set with.
But not scary.
Not scary, but they're fully formed. You know what I mean?
They're quite, they're big and chunky.
They're big and chunky, and when they talk, it booms around the set because Nick breaks his back with his mic. And there's speakers and it all echoes and the lights flash and they move at you. So they're quite sort of. There's none of that. Nothing the Daleks has added after. Julian Bleach's Davros, he was quite scary.
Yes.
When he went mental.
It's a good one. Okay.
Think this side, right? Yes. Hello.
Hi.
I'm sorry, Ms. Piper, but this question is for Mr. Tennant. So I really love Doctor Who, but I'm also a big fan of you and Hamlet and Much Ado About Nothing. And Much Ado About Nothing just made my study abroad experience. So it's the most amazing thing ever.
Oh.
So my question is, I know you just finished Richard II. Are you planning on doing anything else?
Finished Richard II. We opened last night.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize.
We're there till April something.
Congratulations on Richard II.
But there aren't any tickets available, so it doesn't really matter.
Where is it on?
It's on at the Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Very good.
Yeah. Hi, are you going to come?
I might do, yeah.
Okay, just.
I'm going to read the reviews first.
You can get. I'll get you a ticket.
Thank you.
You thought it was finished, so you're not getting a ticket.
Break a leg and the rest of the rest.
Thank you very much.
So my question was, what do you think is going to come next as far as Shakespeare, and also as a Shakespearean actor, did you have much of a say in the episode of the Shakespeare Code?
No, I didn't. In that, no. But what was exciting with it, as somebody with a bit of an interest in that, what was exciting about filming the Shakespeare Code is we were the first, I think I'm right in saying, the first drama that was ever allowed to use the Globe Theatre as a location, which was very exciting. Others have used it since, including St. Trinian's 2, The Legend of Britain's Gold. Caught that seminal British comedy movie. Probably still available on DVD. But yeah, we shot in the Globe Theatre, although we had to do it overnight because they would do a performance, then the theatre would close, and then we would move in and shoot all night, and then we'd have to leave in the morning to let the tour start. And this is how, by the way. But I didn't have any say in making of the episode as such. We never really, the writing was never, we were never asked for comments, were we?
Certainly not.
No.
No, it wasn't subject to change. It was like, this is it, say it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Always be hanging on to it.
Which
is fine because Russell is an absolute genius.
Yeah.
It's totally fine that you want to honour everything you write.
Absolutely. So yeah, and as for what's next, Shakespeare-wise, I don't entirely know right now. I'll let you know. Leave me your email address. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Chan. I'm sorry, Billy, but this one's for David. David, I would like to know what it's like to be married to your daughter. Crazy.
You can say pass.
Lie. Do not pass on this question.
I don't
know where to begin answering this question. There's a line between fiction and reality. Maybe we could do a workshop on that. All I know is I have a very lovely wife and I'm very lucky. Does that answer your question?
Over here. Hi, David. Hi, Billy. My name is Alessandra. I actually have a question for both of y'all. I'm sorry. I've seen
I love that. I'm from Paisley. Nobody says y'all.
I've seen everything you have both played in, and that sounds really creepy. And I love you. So my question's for both of y'all. You have both made major transitions in your career and the characters you have chosen to portray. Billy, I loved you when you were 90s pop star. I love Because We Want To. But then you
I like something deep inside.
And then also, then you went on to play, such a kick-ass character in Doctor Who, and then the sexy vixen in Secret Diary, and now you play this really deep, really complex character on Penny Dreadful, which is Lily /Rose. And then, David, you went from this, fun, quirky doctor to this very serious detective in Broadchurch. And now you are on Kilgrave on Jessica Jones. Have you ever been worried about the effect your transitions would have on your career, especially Billy, because that was a major jump from deciding to move out from music to acting?
I don't know. I don't really think like that, but in terms of work, I don't feel like I'm trying to do something new to shock people. It just feels like a natural progression and a departure. I think I would get a bit sort of bored if I did the same thing every time, and that's sort of the thrill of doing, being an actor. You get potentially get the opportunity to play quite a selection of people. I'm definitely drawn to a certain type of character, but no, I've always really just walked into those decisions a bit quite blindly, and sometimes they've worked and sometimes they've been really disastrous. I just sort of give it a go.
Yeah, I think if the opportunity arises to do something very different to something you've done before, you sort of embrace that.
Totally. Yeah.
That's sort of what you're looking for, really. And I don't think you really stop to consider whether the audience will come with you, because I think audiences are quite bright, and I think this idea that an audience will go, oh, well, you played this character, now I can't, it doesn't compute that you're playing someone. I think audiences get that what actors do, and I think, certainly for myself, when I'm an audience member, I love seeing someone do something new and different and surprising. And if I can do that myself, then that's the joy.
That's the best part.
Well, I've loved both y'all's transitions in your careers, by the way. The darker y'all get, I've actually been more in love with you, especially Billy as Lily. She's amazing. But thank you so much for answering my question.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Was it challenging? Your characters in Doctor Who, it seemed like you were challenged as an actor as well with the different trials that you had to go through. I mean, and some storylines were so devastating. So was that pleasing as an actor to say, okay, great, I get to go through take this character through this massive challenge?
Yeah. You definitely get. Your job was really challenging daily, and mine was really challenging too. And you did get an opportunity to do lots of different things, especially in the second series, and everyone's had found their feet and everyone's feeling quite confident. And it was even more sort of, you know, like with New Earth and every episode, to be honest, had its own challenges, thank God.
Yeah, it never felt like it was standing still. You know, it always got, and that's because we had Russell T Davies, who you know, is always trying to find new directions to take those characters and new challenges for the actors. I mean, something like you there, he wrote because he wanted to see you larking about.
Yeah.
He wanted to get.
Yeah.
That's where the idea.
And then there were episodes that were slightly more comedic, and then there were ones that were way more emotional, like I don't know, Father's Day for me.
Yeah.
You know, I certainly enjoyed those ones. And then the Cybermen ones was a bit more action.
Yeah.
Packed.
Yeah. No, it always felt very different. Every episode felt very different, and I suppose that's the challenge for a show that where the characters have sort of got to be. You've got to reset to zero a little bit at the end of every story so that they can start again. And yet it never felt like that.
I think we're on this side now, right?
Hi, I'm a serious comedian, but I'm also a major Potterhead. And David, I know you as well. So my question is for both of you, but if you had to pick a house, which house would you be part of and why?
What do you mean, like semi-detached? What do you mean in Harry Potter?
That's what you mean, right?
Hufflepuff, Slytherin,
Gryffindor or Ravenclaw?
Ravenclaw. Well, I am in Slytherin. I'm not changing it. Yeah. You see, as we transition darker in our careers.
Dark house.
It's a weird quirk of that plot though, isn't it? The Harry Potter thing. I always found that a bit odd. That as a child, when do they go? 12? Do they go to that? 11. You turn up, you think you're a happy-go-lucky, easygoing kid, and then on the first day they're going, no, you're a baddie. You're in Slytherin, you're a baddie. It's not, I don't know how, I mean, as a child psychologist, I don't think it's great, to be honest. Because you've got that, and then you've got the other three, and I don't know what they are. So you've got baddies, and then the other three.
Kind of called out a little bit, especially being a preteen. That's a lot they have to go through.
A lot they have to go through. And I don't, people develop at different stages. I think you should be allowed to get through puberty before you're condemned to a life on the dark side.
Panel on just that.
We do, actually, yeah.
Psychology is up.
Thank you.
I'm sure that answers your question.
Hi.
Hello.
For one, I really love Doctor Who, and you were one of my first doctors, and I can't thank you enough for that. And first off, I heard something that on the episode where the Earth gets stolen, that when Donna told you to look back and ask Rose, like, for yourself what she said, that you didn't know Billie was on set. So I was wondering, is that true? And that's why you look so happy. Well,
They already know this. I don't know how to answer it correctly.
You mean the bit where I then run along and get shot? I think it was just my brilliant acting. I don't think they'd have been able to smuggle you in without me knowing.
No. Because I would,
Admittedly, your story's better.
yeah, much better.
And I wish it was true, and I'm slightly disappointed that I've admitted that it wasn't.
Some directors do go for that, don't they?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
We did a bit of that at Broadchurch, increasingly. People
You must have loved that.
People got hidden and sort of kept back, and
Did you like that? You didn't like things like that?
I didn't mind it. I was a bit. It was James Strong. You know James Strong. Yeah. And he got all a bit excited about, oh, keep people apart. I was like, oh, shit.
I told you, you hate stuff like that.
Stop it. And then, but then you do be quite.
Then you get into it.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But no, we did do that, Doctor Who. I'm sorry, because we should have pretended that we did.
I also, someone asked me that before, and I think I lied. I think that was true.
And next time we're asked it, we might lie again. So,
You'll never know.
who knows which is true?
Thank you.
Over here?
Yeah.
I saw on one of the Doctor Who specials that when a new doctor came in, they were very excited that this one seemed to like running, and they liked writing a lot of running scenes, and that you brought a great physicality to the doctor that may not have been there with Eccleston. Was that your choice, or was that something they wrote in? And was that because the practicality of monsters being there, or was it because you're a doctor who regrets and you're running from yourself?
You got it deep. That was really deep.
Chris is a really good runner, actually. He runs a lot, right? He's like a proper actual runner.
You're really
I'm a bit
I think you're really hyper.
I'm a bit more like Phoebe and Friends.
Which was very, very physical though. You can't stand it still. Well, certainly not in that role.
No, but it's got a lot of energy to it, certainly.
You definitely gave it a real kick in that respect. How do you answer?
I don't know. It's hard to know as well when things, whether you're bringing something or whether writers are putting something on. You think sort of evolve quite kind of organically, I suppose, don't they? You sort of writers will start responding to what they're seeing in you. You'll start responding to things in the script in a different way, perhaps than the way another actor might have done. So it's often hard to find the actual roots of why things develop in certain ways. And I think I do tend to move about quite a lot, I suppose. So just sort of generally, and sort of, and I think when you start something like Doctor Who, there's quite.
You run before a take.
Yeah.
You do this.
That's so I can be out of breath without having a head rush and falling over.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't really know if that answers your question. I think your question sort of made more sense than my answer has made. So thank you for that.
Fantastic.
Hi David, hi Billie.
Hello.
You two are my absolute favorite Doctor Companion combination.
Oh.
Just saying, they're the favorite. My question is for both of you. I know a lot of times in shows, movies, whatever, there are bits that make it in that were accidents. So I wondered if there were any moments that made it into Doctor Who that were unscripted, that were accidents, and if so, what was your favorite?
I can't remember anything. It's a writer.
Maybe newer stuff. Some of the newer stuff would have been.
Some of the larking around.
Yeah.
Some of the camping about.
Massive ham and cheese spread. That was happening there.
I mean, obviously,
There's always things, well, not always, there's often things that aren't on the page that happen.
yes, but it's a very much a writer-driven show, or was. I think it still is, and the script was first. But obviously, you bring things to the script and you find ways of doing certain scenes, and then it's difficult to know where the script ends and where the performance begins, I suppose.
No.
But basically,
Not so much.
Yeah.
there's that bit in Doomsday that wasn't in the script. That bit where you, and it gets me every time. That bit where you go to say, and you can't do it, and you start again, and you say, that wasn't in the script, and you didn't. That stayed in.
That one thing.
That one. Just because you were about to leave, you thought they were cutting some slack.
Thank you so much, guys. I love you.
Oh,
Love you.
Side?
Billie, you're probably getting this a lot. Sorry, you're probably well aware, anytime any of our beloved doctors leaves the show, there's always that big outrage with sad faces, everything like that. Was there, with 5 or 6 years of hindsight, was there ever a moment where you kind of looked back and said, man, I really should have stayed on another season, or man, I really should, with what you know from what Moffat or Davies had planned for you, or how the story arc progressed since you left, was there ever a moment where you kind of really sincerely regretted leaving?
Do you know, there wasn't actually. There was a moment before I finally decided to go, when having thought I knew I was leaving, I then had a bit of a crisis and thought, maybe I'll stay. And Stephen and I talked about what that might be and went back and forth for a bit. But my time on that show was so tied to Russell and Julie Gardner, and with them leaving, it's just like, if I don't leave at the same time as them, I don't know what it'll be like. It'll feel like
You're having an affair.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That was it. Because you pretty much exhausted every, have you? Like, route, every story. You'd have a real blend.
Yeah, I mean, I got to do a bit of everything.
You got to do a bit of everything. It wasn't like, I can't imagine what else there would be left.
The thing is, once you do go, and then you look back, and it just feels like such a different show, and you stop looking on it as something that you might have done, and you just see what's now happening there.
Like, with that in mind, I should have left when Chris left. But I'm not as kind as you. I stayed on.
I needed you to stay. It was, no, I mean, I think the show's obviously gone from strength to strength and has thrived, but I look back on it not with regret, but with huge fondness, which then makes it a lovely thing to revisit when we came back to the 50th. It's such a lovely thing to go back to, because you don't, you feel like this was such a huge part of my life, such an important part of my life, and something that I cherish, that I can still go back to and enjoy it.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Here comes the 60th. But I think I think it was the right time to go, and I don't regret it.
How many series did you do? 4?
Well, then 3 and then a bunch of specials.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Kind of 4.
It was kind of more, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we have time for one more question.
Make
No
it a good
pressure.
one.
No pressure.
This has to be the best question. Imagine this isn't the best question that's ever been asked.
People are leaving. Don't leave.
Where are you going?
Sit down, right. This is the best question.
This is the best question that's ever been.
Come back.
There's a lady in a fez who's about to ask the best question that's ever been asked.
So hello, first of all, I really love you guys. Dr. Who holds a really special place in my heart. So in 2014, my brother passed away. He was 18, and Talk About Dr. Who was the first in the company to talk again after he passed away. So thank you. And then, so my question is, if you could be in any episode outside of like the eras that you were in, what episode would that be?
Actually was the best question. Thank you so much.
Wow.
It's a really hard one to answer as
I'm
well.
sorry. I'm sort of caught up with you there. I didn't get a question.
So outside of the ones that you were in, what was your favorite episode? You could be in a different one than you.
For me, it would probably an easier question for me to answer, because I grew up as a fan of Doctor Who.
Thank you,
It's
David.
very much like
You always know how to say it.
So for me, it would probably be one of the ones that I have the earliest vivid memories of, which would probably be something like Genesis of the Daleks. I would be 4 or 5 when that was on TV, and yet I have such vivid memories of that, such clear visions in my head that then then it was meant so much when then I get to be in the show with Elizabeth Sladen, for instance, with Julian Beach doing his Davros, sort of with every bit of the same vigour and electricity that
Very happy right now. Very happy.
So for me, it would be something like that. It would be that bit where Tom Baker's got the two wires and we're